Hello, my name is Cristina Salcrotaru and I teach environmental law at the Law Faculty of Transylvania University in Brașov. In this second part of teaching Module 4, Waste Management on Rural Communities Waste Legislation, I will explain the obligation of legal entities in this field. In the first part, I explained what are the normative acts that we can meet in waste management and the links between them. On the basis of the Directive 98 of 2008 on waste management, amended, in Romania we have GO number 92 of 2021 and was developed the transposition of its obligation, the directive obligation at the national level. And in your country, you must have one or more legal acts transposing this directive. Both Directive 98 from 2008 and our National Act GO 92 from 2011 contains general regulation which address everyone, but also we find specific obligation. We have grouped the specific obligation into three categories. First of all, we find specific obligation for legal entities, namely public authorities, which can be national or local, and the commercial companies. We discuss in this part about this. Second group is specific obligation for natural person authorized to carry out economic activities, also discussed in this part. And thirdly, specific obligation for natural person, the next lesson. All this obligation can be completed with existing obligation in other normative acts or of the same power, like law and ordinance, and also can be developed with provisions from other normative acts with all our power. Both the National Act and the Directive have established several priorities in waste management. First of all, we have the obligation to prevent the production of waste. Secondly, if we have generated waste, we must prepare it for reuse or recycling. If reuse or recycling is not possible, we must find recovery operations such as energy recovery. Only if we cannot find ways to implement any of the above, we may have the option to deposit them in a waste deposit. In order to better understand the principle and obligation listed previously, directives and ordinance both explain the meaning of some terms in their annexes. Thus, in Annex 1, we find general definition, like definition for waste or waste holder. In Annex 3, we find recovery operation with their definitions. In Annex 4, we find properties of waste which render it hazardous. And in Annex 7, we find disposal operation with their definition. Any legal entity has the obligation to collect its own waste selectively. Moreover, selective collection must be carried out uniformly in entire European Union. So, we must pay special attention to the classification of waste into non-hazard and hazard waste. The regulation which cover the classification and coding of waste is EU Decision 532 of 2000. For the characterization of waste as hazardous, is recommended to use the EU guidelines. The specific property of hazard waste can be found in Annex 3 to Directive 98 and in Annex 4 in our legislation. There are no differences between these annexes. Some wastes are directly identified as hazard and others are identified as hazard by traceability or provenance. Another legal obligation is to delegate a person to deal with waste management in the organization. In apply the prevention principle, the waste audit must be carried out, reduction measures must be taken based on a waste reduction and prevention plans. As I have shown before, ways of recycling use or ways of recycling reuse, including energy recovery, must be found for the waste produced. Only after that, for the waste for which the previous methods have not been identified, can be stored in landfill, and this is the final step of the waste. Failure to comply with legal obligation is sanctioned by fines or even criminal charges. Okay, and next. So, thank you for your attention, and you can find more information in the text document of the course. Thank you.